All right, going live in 3, 2, 1. Well, this is totally random with Katie. We're at episode number 3. I know we're a lot much higher than that actually, but episode 3. It sounds like we're not doing very many shows, but we've done probably I guess about 7 or 8 at this point. I think so.
Yeah, probably about that, like 7.
Yeah.
I would
So
think.
yeah, realistically, yeah, it's much higher. But we only came up with the name of the show a couple of weeks ago. So, but how are you doing today, Katie?
I'm doing good. It's really rainy, which I'm kind of sad about because it's like Halloween weekend, so it leaves not much to do outside if it's going to be storming. But
Oh, yeah, I know. When I was a kid, I used to hate that when the rain would come in. Do you go trick or treating?
I did when I was a kid. I don't anymore. Now I'm going to like Target for the half off candy what the day after Halloween.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, yeah. You go to the store. I When I
My
was a big
favorite.
candy fiend, I would they always they had the special candy they mark it half off, and I was like I stack up on that stuff. Usually the M and M's, the big pound bag of M and M's. They usually have the special whatever seasonal M and M's, if it was Christmas or Halloween or
Mhm.
whatever. They still have that stuff. I'm not even sure.
Like the seasonal M&Ms.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure. I honestly didn't even really look at the Halloween candy this year. Because if I bought it, I would be eating it all unless I brought it to work. But the past few days, people have brought stuff and had like candy bowls, and I'm like, this is not good. Um, but I don't know if they have the flavor. I think they probably do. I know they do. I feel like they do for Christmas for sure. But I feel like I'm always super excited to go to the store to get like the half price stuff. But then when I get there, there's like 3 things left on the shelf where it's only like 10% off,
Oh.
which is like a few cents.
Yeah, yeah. As far as the trick or treaters, do you get them where you are?
Last year I wasn't here like in my where I like stay for Halloween. I went back home, so I don't really know. I think we do like a thing. I know this year they're doing like a trunk or treat where like people are sitting out in their cars and like handing out candy to the kids,
Oh,
which is weird because I feel like that teaches kids like to go up to people's like they tell it like that joke like don't or like that saying like don't go up to a stranger's car and get candy, but that's literally like what they're doing. So that's kind of an interesting concept to me, like why
yeah.
places do something like that.
I mean,
But
yeah, you don't even know where the person lives. I mean, they could be, who knows who they are. They could just drive their car
right.
randomly and park it. That's interesting. I don't think I've heard of that one. Is that because of any COVID or anything, or is this just some sort of new
Um,
thing?
I mean, I feel like I've heard of trunk or treat before. Like I've like back where I used to live, like I feel like they would do things like that and like you would go to the park and people would just like go or more be like firefighters or like just like the counties like putting something on and you can like go to the different like fire engine, like firefighter car, like a police car and whatever, they'd like hand you candy. But I feel like I've never really noticed people in a community doing something like that. So that might be more COVID related, or maybe people maybe they've been doing this the whole time, and I just it was the first Halloween I had here, and it was COVID, so that I was just like, oh, it's because COVID. But um, I don't know. I feel like it would be more fun for like the kids to like ring the doorbell and like go to each person's like door and see the decorations and stuff than just like walk from car to car, unless you're gonna decorate your car.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. I do know when I was a kid, my best friend and I would go trick or treating, and I do remember him telling me that when he went to a neighbor's house, the person said, "Are you the last one?" He said, "Yeah." So the woman dumped all the candy that she had left in his bag. So, so who knows if
Then
he
was
was
gonna
actually
pick them.
yeah. So, of course he would say, yeah, he was, he and I loved candy, so but
That's funny.
last time I went trick or treating, I don't even remember. I was probably 10 years old. So, but
Yeah.
I, where I'm living right now, there's a child that lives across the road from me. She's like 5 years old, and a couple of children live about a tenth of a mile, maybe a quarter of a mile from my house. And I live in a very rural area, so I don't think they're going to come to my house. That's just there's not enough. There's not enough where I live. There's maybe 6 homes at the most. So
Okay.
and I don't really communicate with my neighbors, so they probably don't want their kids coming to me see me anyway. So
Well, it's hard when you live in like a rural area and there's not many houses around and like the land is so big and like the spaces are so big. It's like the kids have to walk like a mile just to get to someone's house, or there
yeah,
might not be a lot of kids in that area. So hopefully they can like take them somewhere else where there's like a bigger
yeah, yeah.
subdivision.
So as far as we've had the rain for the past couple of days, but it looks like it's finally clearing. I'm looking out the window right now. It looks like we got some sunshine here. So hopefully it'll clear for you. So, um, yeah, I do know. I can't remember if when I was a kid, if it's I don't remember if it ever rained actually. I thought it did, but now I'm thinking about like back to it. It always seemed like Halloween was always the fortunate day for me. It never rained. And if it always seemed
Oh,
like a nice clear day. And then, so we always had the candy, I knew I could go out there and get the candy. I didn't have to worry about getting wet or anything like that. So I don't remember.
yeah.
I do remember the 4th of July getting rained out a few times, but not Halloween. So one
I
of
was everyone would be out there in their ponchos and umbrellas. You'd have to decorate your umbrella.
yeah. Well, let's see. I'm going to bring up our question from last week. Let's see what we got here. So we got a pretty decent response. Let me bring it up over here. I was about buying a car. So how have you ever had a bad experience buying a car? And we asked people to share their story. So 73%, about almost 3/4 of our participants said yes, and only 27% said no. That's I would think that
That's really
yeah, it's bad. I was expecting it to be a little bit higher, to be honest. I thought it was gonna be closer to like 80 or 90%. So, but
sad.
still pretty high. Um, let's see, we rearrange some of these right here, put them in the newest list first. Okay. We got a thumbs up. I'm not sure where we got a thumbs up, but let's see. This one is in Spanish. Sorry, I don't speak Spanish, so I can't respond to this one. Sandeep Mohanar says, nope, I don't have a car. Let's see. A little bit unrelated, but 2 years ago when I was 16, my mom let me drive her car. I tried drifting, and then the bottom left popped. Let's just say I had a good beating from my dad and a 3-hour lecture from my mom. The bottom left tire popped. Oh, the tire. Okay, gotcha.
It's, yeah.
I do remember one time I was doing something to my dad's car, and I was trying to I was trying to clean his car to make it look nice for whatever reason. I was a kid, and my dad was cheap. He didn't like to buy things. So like there's a little valve stem that you put the air in the tire. You know what that looks like.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I was cleaning the wheels on his tire, and he was so cheap he never replaced them. So it was old. And when I went to clean it off, it broke off, and the whole tire went flat.
Oh
And
no.
he was angry at me, but then it was actually his. It turned out it was his responsibility because he never replaced the thing. You're supposed to replace it like every time you get new tires. It's rubber. It's real simple to replace. And he was angry, but he couldn't. There was no one to get angry. I thought he was angry at me, but then I realized he was angry at himself for doing that.
Right,
So
for not doing that.
yeah, so it's kind of like the left tire popped in his car as well, but kind of a different scenario though. So let's see. So, yeah, Kiss Best Fan says no simply because my first car was my father's car, and since I haven't bought it, it doesn't count. Still the family though. My second car, bought from with my own money, from 1990. Loved it, but was stolen.
Oh no.
1.5 years later. I'm not buying a new one. I would say not buy. I would say not a buying issue, although it was a bit rusty. Oh, I'm not gonna read the whole thing. Oh,
Oh
so
wow. Thanks for sharing that story. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm so sorry. Yeah, like sucks your car got stolen. I can't even imagine. Like I've had my car like totaled and stuff like that, and that's even at
yeah,
least
that's
like
a
the insurance can kind of help out with that. I don't know how it works if it's stolen,
yeah,
but
it must be a
hopefully.
pain. Let's see. I'm not 16. I'm 13. I can't drive. No, I actually I bought my first car, believe it or not, when I was 13 years old. So it was a
But
car.
you just couldn't drive it till you were 16?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. In Virginia, you can get a license when you're 15 and 8 months. So, but yeah, I didn't.
That's
I
crazy.
just worked, fixed it up, and by the time I was at that ready to drive, it was a manual transmission, so I had to learn how to drive with a stick rather than an automatic. So, and but yeah, it was interesting. Interesting. I still actually own the car, but it's stripped down right now. So,
Oh,
uh,
really?
I still them here in Los Santos with my homie CJ. So it's a Grand Theft Auto uh, reference. Yes, no hablo inglés, pero me gusta tus videos. Okay, that I can understand. He's saying he likes my videos. Thank you. And finally, no. So Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate the comments, and sorry for Kiss Best Fan. Everyone go back and read his thing. He has looks like four,
Or
uh,
scenario.
yeah, four at least four different cars he bought there. So, but yeah, that's honestly I thought it'd be a little bit higher than that. Well, I guess I'm thinking from a dealership perspective, it would be worse.
Right.
But most of the cars I bought were from individuals, and most of those situations were actually pretty decent, so it wasn't too bad. Buying from private people, they want to sell the car. They're not going to be as sleazy as a salesman would, I guess you could say. So, um,
Sometimes I wonder about that. Like, you would think like, oh, it's better to get from a dealership because then you get the warranty or like if there's anything and like it's coming from an actual place, but then you're having to deal with like, yeah, like the salesman and they don't really also know the car because they haven't been driving it where the owner has been driving it, but will the owner actually tell you everything because they just might want to sell it and they also might be not sharing some things. So, but I do feel like buying it right from the owner is probably a little bit better just because like they have been riding it themselves and like they were the owner of it.
right, right, yeah. The well, yeah, most of the cars. I'm trying to think. Most of the people I bought the cars from, I bought quite a few. Seemed to be pretty decent. The second car I bought was I bought that when I was 15 from the neighbor down the street, and he and I knew each other, so he was pretty honest. But this is a weird scenario, or weird story, I should say. I was going to high school and I was taking a shop class, and my teacher pulled me into the class out of the class one day, and he had a special office, and he said, the guy who delivers our parts said that you bought a car from him and you drove it to New York, and now that there's something wrong with whatever, like some sort of something happened to the car in New York. I said, no, I've never even left the state. I did buy a car from my neighbor, and it turned out that the delivery person he was talking about was my neighbor. He came by to my school and he said, "Why did you drive the car to New York?" I said, I didn't. I bought the car and I put it in my name, and it's in my, and I don't know what happened. He was accusing me of driving, like, I guess buying the car without registering in my name or something. And it was registered in my
Mm.
name. So I don't know. It was a weird, and after that, I don't think he believed me, but there was nothing I could do because I didn't drive to New York. Um, it was just, I was only like, at that time, I was only like 16 years old. And yeah, the idea of driving to another state was just unheard of, I just drove in the area,
Yeah.
maybe. So I don't know. I have no
I wonder
idea.
where he even got that information.
Yeah. The only thing I can figure is maybe he had a set of license plates that were on the car, and somehow they got into another car or something. And maybe,
Oh.
that's the only thing I can figure, because, the car was definitely in my name and I didn't use his license plates. So I don't
Mhm.
know. It's really strange. But anyway, it's always one of those things where somebody tells a story and like somebody believes it without asking the other person's point of view. So like the teacher believed him, but not without asking me if I had actually done what he had accused me of. And it was almost like the teacher was basically accusing me of doing the same thing, but it's like, no, I didn't. So, but
Right.
it's
Huh.
just one of those weird things. Anyway, I don't know what happened after that. It's I never heard anything from him again. So, but just one of those weird stories I would bring to our show here. So you have a question? Oh, we were working on a question for this week's show. What was that? What did you want to ask?
Yeah, I mean it's Halloween weekend, so why not ask a question about Halloween? I feel. We could yeah, we could do like what are you doing for Halloween? What are your plans for Halloween
Okay,
weekend?
cool, cool. Let's see. What are you doing for, yep, Halloween? What are you doing for Halloween? Okay.
You're figuring the you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The you for what are you doing that's missing?
Thank
Oh.
you. Thank you. I'm jumping ahead again. What are you?
Typing too fast.
Yes.
So
Okay. I
we
guess
have
go ahead.
go ahead.
Let's see. We could say trick or treating. I guess. We
Yeah.
use this trick or treating. Was that TREATING? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Alrighty. Okay.
Going to a gathering, like a party.
Okay. Oh, right?
We could do going out to like a bar, like to a bar, or just going out.
Going out. See, like going to a gather. That's kind of similar though, right? Is that the same?
Well, I meant, yeah, this one was more so like going to like a bar like that does like contests. You know how like different bars do like contests for like costume contests?
Oh
I
yeah.
guess you could say dressing up and going out.
Okay.
So dressing up and going out to like a bar or something.
Going out. I'll put example ex. Whoops. Keep my wrong keys there. Ex to a bar. How's that? Okay.
Putting out. You put dressing out.
Good. Dressing up. Oh, sorry. Dressing up. I was dressing up and going. Space in there.
Perfect.
Going
And
out.
then I guess our last one could be nothing. I don't celebrate Halloween.
Nothing. Actually, that'd probably be me this year. Sorry.
Netflix and chill and popcorn. That sounds nice.
Okay. You want to put that in there?
You can, or you can just do nothing.
Okay. I'll just leave it nothing. And then we'll put your choice, I guess. So see what someone else, just in case someone's in there like, hey, I have something I'd like to add there. So there we go. Cool. All right. And I put lowercase that. There we go. Trick or treating, going out to a party or gathering, dressing up and going out to a example to a bar, nothing, and your choice. What do you? Okay, does this look good?
Yeah.
Okay, just so
Are
that
you
you
doing
know.
anything for Halloween?
Just let you know before I answer the question that you're cutting out a couple of times, so it might you have a slight internet connection issue there. So just to let you know, I don't. I think it. I hope it's. I hope it's. I hope it's just a. It might be something on my end. I just got a couple of new smartphones. I had my service switched over, and I had to buy new phones. And it is in the process of downloading some of the apps that are on the phone. So hopefully, that's not interfering with what we're doing here. So, but anyway, yeah. When you talk every once in a while, your words just cut off a little bit. Just to let you know. So, and we're talking over each other. That's causing a minor issue. So, am I going out? Probably not. So tomorrow night, I'm unfortunately a little too busy. I got some things I'm working on. I got an agreement I got to work out with a new affiliate, and I told you about something else that I got to work that out. So I got a whole bunch of things. Unfortunately, no, I'll just be working all night long. So and
that's okay though. You're actually like being productive.
Yeah.
And like working towards your goals.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be looking though to see if my neighbors, if they bring their kid around, and I know they're not going to come to my house, but I'm just kind of curious if they're going to bring their little daughter. She's only she looks like she's like go Gesundheit. She looks like
my
she's
ears keep doing that. It did that last time too.
She little girl lives across from my house. Only looks like she's about maybe 4 or 5. So I'm curious if they're going to dress her up or anything. So
they should. She should be able to celebrate Halloween.
I do know that the 2 kids that live down the road from me, like their house is about maybe a quarter of a mile from my house. They came by one time. Their dog got lost, and for some reason, one of them was real friendly. The other one wouldn't even look me in the eyes. I'm not sure. He kept on glancing away. So maybe he doesn't like me for some reason. So I don't think I'll be seeing them coming to my house for trick or treat. At least the one kid. So you said go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying, well, hopefully you can get your stuff done.
So you said you had a little quiz for matching candy slogans.
Yeah,
is that right?
I do. So I'm going to do a quiz for you. It's Halloween based. Well, most of these candies are Halloween. Some of them, no, they all are Halloween. So I'm going to see how well you can do on this quiz. There's 15. Should I do 10 of them, or do you want to do all 15?
Let's try them and see as we move along. If it seems like it's dragging out, we can limit it to 10, I guess, and then we'll go to if it sounds good, we can do the whole 15, I guess. I think that'll work.
Sure. So I have the candy slogans, and then you have to guess which candy this belongs to.
Oh,
Do you want to do multiple choice? There's like three options on here, like multiple choice or, well,
um,
I'll say it, and if you can get it right off the top of your head, then we'll just go on. But if you want the multiple choice, say multiple choice, and I'll tell you the three choices.
okay, that works. That's perfect. Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Okay, so the first one, the world may never know.
Oh, world may never know. I feel like I'm doing. Do you remember? This might be a little before your time. Do you remember Johnny Carson?
Yeah, that name, yeah.
Okay, he used to have a bit called Karnak where he would ask a question and give a funny response. Sounds like we're doing one of his old Karnak routines when he did that. So for anyone who's ever watched that, anyway. It just popped in my head when you said that. The world may never know. Let's see.
So it's Laffy Taffy, Tootsie Pop, or Dum Dums.
Oh, 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 say it again. I'm sorry. I know it. Say it again. I'm sorry. Just say it one more time. The three of them.
Laffy Taffy, Tootsie Pop, or Dum Dums.
Tootsie Pop. It's Tootsie Pop.
Yep,
Okay. Yeah,
got
yeah.
one right. I should have a little like dinger, like ding. Unbelievably juicy or unexplainably juicy.
Um, let's see. Unexplainably juicy. But before we do that, let's jump back to that first one. That slogan is from way back in the day. I think there was a running back in this 80s, 70s and 80s, if I'm not mistaken. The world may never
Oh,
know. Yeah, I
is
remember seeing
that
commercials.
from the Tootsie Pop or just in general that slogan?
No, the Tootsie Pop. The Tootsie Pop. I remember
Oh,
seeing an old cartoon commercial from years ago, and the little kid was licking it, and there's like I guess this is how much
yeah,
the commercial influenced me, and then like a little owl came up and like bit it three
yeah.
times or something. Yeah.
I remember that. And it's like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know. I think that's like is that the whole thing?
Yeah, exactly. And like the little owl would bite it three times ago, and so the kid like lost his Tootsie Pop after that. So,
Oh. Yeah, I remember that commercial.
so go to the second one. What was the slogan again?
Unexplainably juicy.
Um, okay, you're gonna have to give. I want to guess maybe something that has the word juicy in it, like juicy fruit, but I'm probably wrong on that.
No. Okay, so Hubba Bubba, Zoats, I'm not sure what that is, and Starburst.
Oh, Starburst? Is it Starburst?
Yep, it's Starburst.
I
Ding.
got. I gotta look this up. How is Zoats spelled?
Zotz. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard of a Zoats.
Zoats candy. Oh, here we go. I'm bringing this up here. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this at all. This looks like something you get for Halloween only, like you get in your bag or something.
That looks like candy that would be in like one of those claw machines.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've never seen this before. So okay, well, learned something new there. Okay, cool. Alrighty, what's the next one?
Okay. Try both.
Try both. Uh, try both. No, nothing.
We got Almond Joy, Mounds, or Twix.
Almond Joy, almond mounds. Wait. Almond Joy, mounds, and Twix. Those are the three
Or
choices.
Twix.
Or
Yeah.
Twix. Excuse me. I wouldn't say both of the first two, to be honest. I'll go with the first one. What was the first one again? Almond
Almond
Joy.
Joy?
Yeah, Almond Joy. Go
No,
with.
it's Twix.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, I think it's because there's two Twixes in a package.
oh, okay. I should know that one because Twix was one of my favorites for a while too. So,
So number 4 is the
wait, so
Great American Chocolate Bar.
you broke up on that. Say it again.
The Great American Chocolate Bar.
But you don't have a ding. You don't have a dinger when I get it wrong, do you? Like a bzz sound? I guess.
I
Yeah.
go bzz. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll just say, yeah, I'll do ding or bzz.
Okay. The Great American Chocolate Bar. I want to say Hershey's.
Yeah, ding. You got that right. This one's easy. This next one. Taste the Rainbow.
Oh, Skittles.
Ding. It melts in your mouth, not in your hands.
Oh, M&M's.
Ding. You're not you when you're hungry.
Oh,
This one I didn't know.
You're not you and you're
Popular
hungry.
one.
Okay, I'm gonna need the choices on this one.
M&M's, Snickers, or Mike and Ike's.
Hmm. No. I'm just
So it's not M&M's because you just got an M&M's.
yeah. I'm gonna guess. I'm just gonna say Mike and Ike.
Snickers or Mike and
I'll just
Ike's?
say Mike and Ike. I'm not sure though, but that's just I'm just.
No.
Oh, so Snickers. Oh, okay. Snickers, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Another candy bar. I've never heard
I
that.
thought it was, um,
Go ahead.
yeah, I don't think I have either.
Yeah.
Two great tastes that taste great together.
Reese's peanut butter cups. Yes.
Ding.
Yes.
First they're sour, then they're sweet.
Oh, this one sounds familiar.
This is one of
Um,
my favorite candies.
oh, I, I, I know it's something I want to say, but it's not. Go give me the choices because I know I'm wrong in my thought here. Go ahead.
Warheads, my mouth like puckered when I was reading that. Warheads, lemon heads, and Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, 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 um, I'll say Sour Patch Kids. I'm probably wrong because this one's really eluding me. I'm not sure.
Ding! It's Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was just a plain. I just pulled that out of thin air. So, okay. What a Sour
And
Patch?
then
Hold on a second. Sour Patch. You said you like that one?
yeah, that's one of my favorite candies. I can't really eat them that much anymore because they're really sticky. But
Oh,
and I
I
need
don't
to go
think.
to the dentist. But yeah, those are like one of my favorite candies. The watermelon ones are super good too. Like they're little like watermelon shapes.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Is that them? Or which are these all them? Or is that them? Or
Yeah,
like,
that's what they look
okay.
like. Have you never had Sour Patch Kids?
No, but I think I've had something similar. But no, I've never actually had this at all. Is this something newer?
Oh my
This might be
god.
something newer. Maybe that's why. Um,
No, they're not newer.
really?
They're
Okay.
like they're like little gummy candies that are like sour, and then they're like sweet once you chew them more because you're
I've
getting
never.
all the sour off.
I've had candy that's similar to that. That looks that like that has the coating on it. It's like really chewy and gooey, and it gets stuck in your teeth, like you said. But it
Oh,
was
like
never but it wasn't called Sour Patch Kids. I've never heard this before. So
oh
this one,
wow,
huh? I wonder if they just didn't sell them in my area. That's interesting. So
they
maybe it's something.
definitely sold them.
Does it look
That
like
blows
this?
my mind.
Little,
Yeah.
it's little. Okay, yeah, we can go here. So okay, cool. Alrighty, yeah. That one's got me. I never heard of that one before. So interesting.
Oh, wow. I got
Okay.
one more for you. Here's number 10. Crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery.
We already did Reese's peanut butter cups. So
So what else has peanut butter?
um, hmm.
I always forget this candy has peanut butter actually in it because you don't really taste it that much. I mean, I don't feel like I taste it. It's more like the crispity thing that you taste.
You're gonna have to give me the choices. I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, we got Fifth Avenue, a Nestle Crunch, or a Butterfinger.
Butterfinger is Butterfinger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Butterfingers. Sorry. That's I they were I remember that if I went trick or treating, and it would be the one candy that would be left over at the end. As far as like the ones I didn't like the most, or at least I should like the least, I should say. Yeah. So, but
I like Butterfingers, but I feel like they're really like chewy and they really get stuck in your teeth and stuff, which is like
I,
annoying.
I just didn't care for the taste. It's something about it I just didn't like. And also the ones I can't stand that have coconut in them. What is it?
Oh yeah. That's like the almond joy and the mounds, right?
Yeah, yeah. Every time I bite into it, be like, ooh, and I just like gross, and I just couldn't finish eating it. So,
So, like, where's the peanut butter? Why is there coconut in here? Where's the chocolate inside?
we got Brian AL said he said he likes Snickers ice cream
Oh
and
yeah.
what's it say? In baskets or wrapped? Let's see, is there Snickers ice cream? Um Do they make? Is that something I'm like just like Sour Patch Kids? It's something I've never heard of as well. Let me take a look at that.
Well,
Snickers.
I've seen like actual ice cream tubes with Snickers in it, but then Snickers also makes like a chocolate ice cream bar where it's like a chocolate bar and then there's like ice cream in it with like the car.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you can get it like as a bar or you can get it like ice
Yeah.
cream.
Okay, I have seen this. Yeah, I've seen this. I have seen these before, but I just never thought about it. Yeah, I are they as good as the regular Snickers bars, the candy themselves?
Well, I think does Snickers have nougat in it? Because I feel like instead of like the nougat, it's like a big ice cream bar. So I think it's basically just ice cream with like the chocolate coating and caramel and peanuts inside. They're okay if you like ice cream, from what I remember. I think I got them in high school. Like our high school had them in
Oh,
the lunch area.
really? They had junk. This is like almost like junk food. My school was like more health oriented, I
Yeah.
guess. We were very well.
No, we had like
Yeah,
you
we
could.
did. I do remember. Well, I take that back. We did have Twinkies and honey buns, and so
Oh,
they
yeah.
the Chunky Buns and honey buns. When I first time I ever had honey bun, Hostess honey bun, I was like my favorite food for a long time. So you ever had? Do they even make those anymore? Hostess honey buns. Let's see.
Yeah, my coworker is like obsessed with Little Debbie stuff, and they'll always bring in like honey buns, cosmic brownies, and like I feel like I used to think that stuff tasted good, but now it's just like so artificial tasting. I have to like throw it in an air fryer to like actually crisp it up and like get it to taste better.
Hmm.
Because I
Okay.
don't know, I don't find that stuff good anymore.
The one I had, they had the icing on it because there were different honey buns that didn't taste that good. So
Oh man, I never had the icing one.
okay. Okay. Yeah. And
Maybe.
I love them so much. What I do is I had like my paper routes, and so I had extra money to spend. So I treat my friends to a honey bun. I said, "You guys want a honey bun?" So,
Okay, so are you supposed to microwave it in the plastic? Because they were telling me at work that you're supposed to microwave it in the plastic, but I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to do that. I feel like that would be really bad. Like I don't know if the plastic melts, but I feel like it would definitely like I
yeah, I
feel like you're
wouldn't do
not
that.
supposed to do
I wouldn't do that. Maybe I'd never
that.
microwave them. So, but in my opinion, maybe get a paper towel and put a paper towel over it. Do it that way, but
Mhm.
not in the plastic. I couldn't see doing it in the
Yeah.
plastic.
Well, I tried it because I was like, okay, I'll try it just to see. I took two of them because I'm like, if I ruin this one, I want another one. And like the plastic inflates, like if you do it just like for 10 seconds, so it like inflates, and I think it like like it just makes it a little bit warm, but it doesn't dry it out. Because like when you microwave bread, bread gets like really dried out, like pizza or whatever. So I think it's supposed to like keep the moisture in, but I still feel like microwaving plastic, just like microwaving styrofoam, like you can't do it.
Right, right. In fact, the fact that you said the bag inflated, that seems very familiar. Like maybe I have tried it once or twice and I forgot. That just triggered a memory when you said that. Yeah, but I know what you mean. It's like you're maybe microwave it in plastic, but maybe cut a little hole in the side or something. So I don't know if that might help. I don't know. So, but yeah, I do remember eating some honey buns that were not this particular brand, or just didn't have the icing on it. I was repulsed by it,
Mm,
immensely repulsed by
yeah.
it. So, but
Yeah, I
anyway,
just haven't had the icing one. That's probably why. Because I'm like, I just had the original, like the plain one.
uh, so well, we got the jumbo one here. So, alrighty. So, did you have any others? You did.
Um, there is more if you want to do another one.
Let's do one more, and then we'll wrap it up then. So,
Okay. How about makes mouths happy?
oh, makes mouths happy. That sounds familiar. Uh, I'm gonna need the choices on that one. Nothing's coming to my
Okay.
head.
We got O. Henry, Twizzlers, or candy corn.
I'm gonna eliminate candy corn. I don't think it's that one. And Twizzlers. I'm gonna say Twizzlers.
Ding.
Okay.
Candy corn doesn't make people's mouths happy. I feel like candy corn's so controversial that I don't even know what candy corn slogan is. Now I'm curious.
Candy corn is controversial. Why would candy corn be controversial?
Or
Is
not,
there
I don't
some?
know if controversial is the right word, but just like I feel like you either love it or hate it. Like when people like get on a topic about candy corn, and if some person like if people are really like dislike it, I feel like you can get in intense conversations like candy corn's so gross, like this, but then someone's like, no, it's so good if you put it with like peanuts and like it It's like I feel like candy corn, I hate candy corn. I feel like there's no
I
middle.
gotcha. Yeah, I when I was
Like, have you ever heard of people putting candy corn?
have people doing what with candy corn? You cut off there.
Oh, putting candy corn with peanut, like chocolate, because I guess it's supposed to taste like a
Oh
payday.
no, I've not. I've not. The one thing I can say about candy corn is when you look at the tip, there's this white tip on there. I didn't like the white tip, but the rest of it was
Mhm.
good. So, and I do remember
It
these.
looks
Those
like a tooth.
look like a tooth. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And there's the. Let me go back for a second. There's these. Where are they? I just saw them. Little pumpkins.
Oh,
Candy
yeah,
corn.
that was on that one.
Yeah, here
That
we
one
go.
right
Here,
there.
there, there. Yeah,
Those were
I
so
like.
sweet.
Yeah, I like those. I like those. I
You?
like those better than regular candy corn. So, but
Mm.
I, I I get a little once in a while. I get a binge where I'd get candy corn, but I just didn't like the white tips. So for some reason, just don't know. Those are my thing. So, but
Do you really think that the different levels taste differently? I mean, I've heard that they try to make them taste different, but I can't remember.
the white part definitely
Oh.
did. The white part definitely had a weird taste to it. That's why I didn't like it. So, but the rest of it, I'm not sure. I couldn't say. I just know that it is. I wouldn't actually break it off, but it's just if I ate just the white part by itself, I was like, "Ooh, this is kind of gross." But the rest of it was fine.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, the little pumpkins were great. Alrighty, well that was fun. Yeah, the now you make me want to go buy some candy, even though I'm not supposed to eat any with my diet now. So
Yeah. Well, I think you got most of them right. I think it was just two wrong. I think it was, yeah.
yeah, that proves that when I was a kid, I was really manipulated by those TV commercials. I
Yeah,
watched
those were
I,
fun.
I watched way too many cartoons when I was a kid. So so we wanted to, you wanted to discuss. You and I both wanted to discuss the Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams. Is that right? As
Mhm.
the now the show now these shows I actually had them on my computer for a while. I had a chance to get them, and I never got a chance to watch them. And you brought them up, and I said, "Oh, that sounds interesting." So I got a chance to bring them up and watch two of them. Now, are these stories actually written by Philip K. Dick? Do you know?
Yeah, I believe that they are. And then they turned it into a TV series, which is on Amazon Prime. If you're into like, how would you describe the genre? Like sci-fi, like futuristic for sure. Um,
Yeah, definitely following in
Not
the.
really.
I hate to make a comparison, but it's similar to that of the Twilight Zone episodes. If you've ever seen those, that's probably the best way to describe it. So the
Yeah.
they're the sci-fi. Well, I only saw two episodes so far, but yeah, sci-fi, fantasy kind of borderline fantasy stuff. The and Philip K. Dick was I've seen stories about the guy. He was kind of an eccentric person, to put it. I guess is the best
Oh,
way to
was
put it.
he?
Yeah, a very out there, very lively person. So, kind of person that would be most liveliest person in the party. You really stand out. You know, he's really different and unique in some ways. I've heard. I don't know how best to describe it. He's just a very interesting person. He had these really weird ideas about things and everything. So he was. I guess that's why he was able to write these stories. I did read one of his
Right.
novels. I read Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? That was written by him. I've only read four novels my entire life, and that was one of the books I read. And that was the movie. It was made into the movie Blade Runner in 1982.
Oh, okay.
So,
So he has written movies before.
oh yes, he's the Minority Report that starred uh, 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 is that was it called Minority Report? I should look this up.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I didn't know he wrote that.
Yeah.
Or
So
he
yeah,
wrote
he's
that.
Yeah, he what else did yeah, he didn't write the screenplay, but he wrote the book that was the movies were based on. So, and
Oh, okay.
Tom Cruise, that was in Minority was Tom Cruise was in that one. So that was yeah.
Yeah.
He's written a few other. Oh, he also wrote, if I'm not mistaken, the We Can Remember for You at Wholesale, which was a short story that they made the movie. What's it? Oh, I can't remember. Arnold Schwarzenegger was in it. Total Recall. Total Recall is what it was called. So you've heard of that one?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he wrote that
Hmm.
one as well. So yeah, he's a pretty well known
Okay.
science fiction writer, and It's very interesting. My dad was very fascinated by the guy, even though he never read any of his books. He was still fascinated by the person who he was. This whole series, there's like 10 of them altogether, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and they're based, like you said, they're all based on his stories. And where they were, he passed away. I forget when he passed away. So I don't think these were written when I think these came out after he had passed on. Is that right? These,
I didn't even realize he had passed away. So,
yeah,
um,
let me bring that up because that we have more information about it. So and how many of while I'm bringing that up, how many of the episodes have you seen so far?
I watched all of them.
Oh, you
I thought
have.
they
Oh,
were really good. Yeah.
okay. I'm bringing up his name right now. Let me see. Um,
They really leave your mind open to interpretation, a lot of the episodes. Like, I feel like the endings, I'm always like, what does that mean? Like, what happened? Like, why did it end like this? Um, so
yeah,
he's still alive. Oh
yeah,
no, he died in 1982. So
yeah, he's
yeah.
been, yeah, he died the same year that the movie Blade Runner came out. So yeah, there's
Oh
Minority
wow.
Report, Total
Yeah, he's
Recall.
been dead
Yeah,
for a while.
yeah, he passed on. So he he was only 53 too. It's not too old.
Oh, that's sad.
The
Oh, he's
yeah,
from Chicago.
oh yeah, yeah. So and let's see what else he got. What? Oh, he wrote. There was another movie. I forget what it's called. It was another made-for-TV movie I saw, and it was actually pretty good too. I don't remember what it's called. I don't want to dwell on that one though. But yeah, and then Blade Runner 2049 was based on Blade Runner, obviously as well. So
Mhm.
I think so. Anyway, let's. I'm gonna get to the shows. Where is it? Where's it at? It should be up here. Electric Dreams. Here we go. All right. Oh, I'm not signed in, so it's give me. I'm not used to looking at this way. I'm not used to the newer format. Hold on a second.
Oh, IMDb.
Let me log in. I gotta. Yeah,
Same.
when I'm not logged in, I can't read this correctly. It looks kind of bizarre to me. Oops. Hold on a second. Uh, sorry. I don't want you to see I don't want anyone to see my email address here. So give me a second. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. Okay, so Electric Dreams, 2017 to 2018. I do remember when it first came out. I was able to get all of them, and they've been, like I said, they've been sitting on my computer since that time. So it gave me a reason to finally watch them. And the episodes I watched were The Commuter and Impossible Planet.
Okay.
So I think when I watched Impossible Planet, it's the episode is an elderly woman who's very old. She's like 300 and something years old. I don't remember her exact age. She
Yeah.
wants to go to Earth. I think I've seen that one before, but so I was watching it halfway through. Like this seems very very familiar. So either I've seen a story, I've seen it done before in another version or something, or I had seen it, I just forgot about it.
In another movie. It did seem
Yeah,
like a
and
familiar.
it was the story.
Yeah, so the premise of that
What's that?
one. Oh
No,
no, go
I
ahead.
didn't. You're cut off on that last one. I'm sorry. It's, okay. And let's see. Yeah. Let me bring up that one episode. Where's the episode? Oh, here we go. Episode's right here. So, okay, it was
So yeah,
close.
the premise of that one is this lady comes to these two guys and she wants them to take her to Earth, but Earth no longer exists,
Right.
and they're trying to figure out if they should take her to Earth or if they should not take her to Earth. And then like in between all of this, one of the guys, she like thinks that this other guy, like the guy looks familiar or something, right? Like the young kid, and then the young kid ends up like kind of falling for her, this like older lady. um
I'm
it's
bringing
very
up.
interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And the guy has I keep on clicking on the wrong one. I apologize. Here it is, right here. Here's the right episode right here. So, the guy he's talks about how he's had a girlfriend for the past 5 years, and it doesn't seem like he really likes her, and she's kind of like they don't show him very much of that relationship, but apparently she's kind of bossy in some ways, and so the woman shows a picture of which what appears to be him, and she says it was her grandmother. Is that right? And it turns out to be them, like because they go down to the planet's surface, at which they is not really Earth, but they it turns out to be Earth in some way, like in the past, like they're somehow transported there. Is that
Well, I
right?
wonder, like, what did you think about that drone character, droid or whatever, like that's standing in the corner? Do you think he knew? Because at first, when he was like messing with the systems, I thought he was like trying to kill her, like not taking her to Earth and like messing up the whole mission. But do you think he was actually directing it to go to this planet because he knew that that's the planet that she needed to go to be with this guy for them to be young again,
That's
or
what
for
I
her
was.
to be young again?
Yeah, he something to do with, yeah, where their final destination. I thought about that as well, and but they didn't show very much of that, did they? As far they just show him
Mhm.
he walked up to it, and then did he actually take control, or did he type anything into the screen or anything?
Yeah, he did something with the control system, like changing it to like not be going to planet Earth anymore. So then it kind of makes us as like the viewer think like, okay, like where is he sending them? Like, because then they end up in this place that's like decayed and you can't breathe apparently in it. But I guess maybe you can breathe in it because then they take off their masks. So like the ending, I don't know if they're actually like, do you think they're dead? Like, and this is just like where they went, like where they're like places after they die, or do you think like this is an actual place that they're alive in?
I,
That's also too up for interpretation, I think.
Yeah, my interpretation was maybe they somehow traveled through time and they were jumping back, and the picture that she showed was taken from a long time ago, and they were going to live those lives that were in that picture, of
Mm.
him and her. And the thing about it though is she obviously liked him, but they seemed to like each other at the very end. But how do we know that that relationship is going to last? I mean, he didn't. His last one only was 5 years, and he couldn't stand that woman. So how do you know that? How do they know that this relationship's going to last?
I think they're destined to be together because of the picture. Like they're the soulmates. They're the end team.
Okay. Okay. So you're supposed to not it's one of those stories where you don't think about it. Just go with the flow, I guess. So the
Mhm.
yeah, so this is the plan right here. They're not, it's like they're going to die, and then all of a sudden they're able to pull their masks off, and they're in a very nice environment. I guess they're supposed to be she refers to it as Carolina. She doesn't specify if it's like North or South Carolina. She just calls it Carolina several times.
Carolinas, yeah.
And
Yeah, they're trying to get to the Carolinas.
yeah, and they're supposed to get, I assume that they live happily ever after. So it was interesting. I had, like I said, I did have a hard time, believing that these two are in love, considering they just met, and I didn't fully understand the context of, how a picture would just make them want to be together forever in eternity, for the
Right.
or
Like I think she knew. I think she knew she liked him, and this other guy was kind of trying to live with her by seeing her like, oh, maybe this is right. Maybe this is who I am supposed to end up with. Maybe I should go along with this and see what happens. Like I think she knew all along kind of what she was doing because you can tell like by the different like things she does throughout the episode, like help me with this, like fix my dress, like all these different things. And then he just kind of gets sucked into it because he's going through this hardship of a relationship and doesn't really know what to think because she like comments on his relationship and stuff. So I think she knows what she's doing. As far as him, I feel like he's just kind of like, oh, maybe this is how it's supposed to be, kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. And with a lot of movies and TV shows, you just got to understand people don't fall in love within a short that short a period of time.
Right. Well,
I,
love at first sight, I guess.
there's a movie called Defending Your Life with Albert Brooks and I can't the woman that's in there, Meryl Streep, and the two of them fall in love, and they're like madly in love with each other, and they only met each other within a day, and they're like they can't. By the end of the movie, they can't be apart from each other. And you're like, oh wait a minute, you just met each other. How can you be that madly in love with each other? But you look at it, go, okay, it's a movie, so you just got to go with it. So it's similar to this story right here. So um, there's another movie. It's a romantic movie called The Cutting Edge. It's about two skaters. I don't know if you've ever seen that one. And the two of them, that one is a very believable love story because that one drags out. That not drags out. It extends over the course of like 2 years, and so you actually see the movie. it's not, they're, by the beginning of the movie they hate each other, but by the end they're madly in love with each other. But the story is so gradual, it's believable, that you can see the progress of them, slowly starting to like each other, and by the end you can tell that they are in love with each other. And 2 years makes a lot more sense than
Mm,
one day. So
right.
and but yeah, it's, other than that, yeah, it was, as I said, I think I've seen this, or it was, like I said, either saw this or something similar to it. It was just so familiar as I was watching it. And the story is, I would have to say it's really good. Um, the as far as the believability factor, that's kind of weak, but I would give it a high rating, maybe like 8 or so out of 10. So, what kind of rating would you give this one?
For overall, just like the story and everything,
Yeah, yeah,
this one wasn't one of my favorite ones, but I would say maybe like a 6,
6. Okay,
6 or 7. Probably like a 7. I did like it. It was interesting. I think I just like didn't really get the end, but I guess like a lot of them are kind of up for interpretation, which is I think like if you watch them, like almost more than half of them are kind of up for interpretation. Like, why did that? Like, what does that mean? I have noticed like a lot of times all throughout the episodes, there's always like one main actor that you've seen in like a bunch of different things, and then all the other actors are kind of more like not as known, which I think is kind of cool because it's giving them a chance to be like exposed and work with like a more well-known actor. Um, I did notice that, but they all make you think, especially when you're watching them. Like, what, why is this happening? Which is I like, which is why I think I watched them so fast and like got through them within like, I guess I didn't get through them that fast. It took me like a month to watch them, but I thought it was a good series.
now, as far as the, would you like to jump over to the other episode that I watched, the Commuter? Let me bring that
Sure.
one up.
We'll talk
Okay.
about two of them. Yeah.
There we go. Okay. So this is the one I kept on accidentally bringing up before. So the Commuter, I didn't really think this one was as good. So
Yeah.
I would give this a low rating, but basically the story, the gist of it is basically the guy, there's a woman that comes into the train station. He works at the train station, and she says she wants to go to a town. I can't remember the name of the town, but he says, nope, that doesn't exist. And it turns out it does exist, but it's for people who have gone off to other, like they how would you describe that? They died, or were pulled there in some way. How like, there are people that are there that no longer exist in the real world in some way. Is that right?
Yeah, I feel like that was also kind of confusing to me because at first I thought it was that. Like I thought it was because well, you see these people like they have to jump off of the train and then walk a few miles like up a hill to get to this like land. So it technically doesn't exist. It was created by this woman or her father or something like that. And I originally thought it was like people that didn't exist because but then like you see these physical people and then the guy like the father keeps asking like where his son is because his son kind of deals with issues like different problems and stuff you see in the beginning of the episode. And then when he keeps asking for his son back, she keeps saying like, well, I don't think you should trust us, we should keep him, like he's gonna, I think there was like a phrase that she said like he's gonna go off end up killing a bunch of people, like he's better off here. It's almost like she knew like what. So I think all these people dealing with some type of issue, whether it's like mental, physical, emotional, something like that, and they're coming to this place because it's a happy place. But if they're let off into the real world, they could go off and do the things that they were going to do. But this guy, the father, obviously doesn't care. He just wants his son back, whether what happens or not. So then at the end of the episode, we see the son there. So he was given back. But we don't know now if he will now go off and do what she's saying that he's going to do, and now he's better off not in that world. But it's
Right.
interesting to me that all these people like leave because if they're dead, why are they leaving to go back onto the train back to like society?
Right. And this woman right here at the diner, I wanted to ask, is that the his son was causing issues? Was that the woman he was causing issues for or to, I guess? Um, was
Um,
because
Yeah, she makes the comment.
I thought that whatever the son was doing, he was doing it to her, and she was emotionally distraught because there's one scene where she was actually crying in the diner, um, later on, or something, maybe not crying, but she was upset, and he was trying to get his son
Mhm.
back, and they show her, and she's upset in the diner. I can't remember, and then the other woman who's the commuter was saying
Yeah,
that the son was going to cause issues or something. This one was very it was confusing. So, and
it was confusing. Um, I feel like there's a lot of like, yeah, like what exactly is this place kind of thing, and like, will he go off? Because like, yeah, he was hurting people in the real world, but then if he was hurting this girl in this like dream world kind of per se thing too. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I'm not sure if it was not, if it was him or if it was someone else that was hurting her, and that's why she was there.
yeah, yeah, and also to jump into this character right here, this child was in the so-called, I guess you call it, real world, because he was helping that child down the staircase to get to the trains in one episode, in one point of the episode. The kid
Mhm.
was in a stroller, and they were him and some other people were helping the mother get the kid down to the platform for the train, down the stairs. I didn't understand it. I guess the kid died. I don't know. See, I didn't fully understand that part either. So, um,
Yeah, I didn't even I didn't catch that.
so
Um,
yeah, this one. I was watching this, and I was definitely, yeah, like I said, I'm repeating myself, but yeah, definitely a little confused as to what was going on. Like, and I think at one point she was like talking about how she was affected by, and it was implied by the son. The whole thing with the love that this couple right here, they keep on saying they're getting married. They bump into him several times. Why were they
yeah,
repeating? Why was that being repeated over and over again? That happened like 3 times.
yeah, I noticed that too, because then that made me feel like at first it was kind of like that Pleasantville scenario or something like where like the world or like Groundhog's Day, like it just keep like it felt like Pleasantville because everything was super fake, but more like Groundhog's Day that things kept repeating, but nothing else was really repeating because the girl would always bring him a new pastry or something when he went in there. I don't know why this couple replays their life.
Yeah, yeah, and nothing else seemed
Um,
to repeat. This is the only thing that repeated, as far as I remember. So,
mhm.
uh,
Yeah, it's very interesting. And if someone had like insight on it, I definitely want to know because I feel like it would take me a while to figure out.
yeah. So, yeah, I have to say that this episode, I have to give it a lower rating. Like maybe I don't know, like a 5. I'd go much lower on this one. So only because I just only grasp the concept as what was actually going on at sometimes.
Mhm.
It seemed like it might have had a good story. I mean, the fact that when he gets back to the real world, so to speak, the his wife doesn't remember the son, and like why doesn't she remember the son? They don't explain that. It's just like the son
Mhm.
disappears, and from the audience, she talks about we talked about having a son, and he says we don't want to live in we want to live in reality or something to that effect. And I don't remember how he phrased it, and
Hmm.
and she doesn't remember the son at all, and then he doesn't seem to remember the son until he goes back to this other world, this other town, or this fictional town, and he goes to find a reporter, and the reporter uh, tells him she doesn't really give a good explanation either. This reporter right here, she describes it, and
Mhm.
I yeah, it's yeah. I'm sorry. Someone has to explain this one to me.
Yeah, someone, let's get a film like analysis on here and Tyler. I feel like I'm gonna try to find an article that explains this episode and maybe we could talk about it next time because and anyone watching that wants to watch this, please watch it so you can understand what we're talking about.
And
Um,
the funny part is, as far as I know, this was the premiere episode, so this would be the one like most people have seen for the first time when it was brand new. It's like this,
Focus was one.
you think they have one that would be more compelling or more easy to follow. I mean, I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
both of us coming across. We're having the same problem here. We just don't seem to understand it. It's so. Are the other episodes that like I said, I've only seen these 2 so far. Are the other ones like that?
Mhm. A lot of them, some of them are like hard to follow a little bit, but like I said, and I think it like opens you up more for interpretation, like what kind of is happening. And I think that's the point of a lot of these shows is like to engage the audience to try to like figure out like if they can like they can just make the ending themselves because like it's like incorporating the audience and engaging them, I think. But there's a lot of good ones. There's some ones that are just like okay. There's definitely better ones than other ones, but overall they're all really good and make you think if you like watching stuff like that.
So let me ask you a personal question, not really related to this episode at all, but are you a science fiction fan in general?
I like science fiction movies.
Okay.
I oh my gosh, I keep yawning. Must be low on oxygen or something. No, yeah, I haven't really read a lot of like science fiction books, but I do like science fiction movies and kind of just like sci-fi and action.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Are you a science fiction person?
If it's done right, if it's done right, I don't like the type of science fiction where it's like just random, explosions and things like that. If it's a compelling
Mhm.
story, I like it. Like the TV series Battlestar Galactica. I don't know if you saw that from 2003 to 2009. I think it was on. That was more like a drama done in outer space. It was done very well. And then the TV show Lost was also a science fiction show. So that was like a drama like that.
Mhm.
And there's certain elements. I also read the H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, and I read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. So I guess three out of the four books that I read my entire life are all science fiction based. I guess you can, Frankenstein is kind of like a science fiction based. It's science fiction and horror, I guess you could say. It's a combination of both because the Dr. Frankenstein creates the monster in the book, so he creates creates
Mhm.
life. So that's kind of a science fiction element. And then so yeah, I mean I just I don't like the random silly stuff. Like I'm not condemning Star Wars, but Star Wars is just not really my thing. I like it. I can watch it once in a while, but I don't go out of my way to watch it. So I'm not that kind of a star. That's a different kind of science fiction person. I'm more the thinking person's kind of thing, and that when it comes to that. So it's really depending on the work itself. So and Philip K. Dick does, a lot of his movies were pretty good. The ones that were based on the Minority Report was pretty good. Uh, Total Recall, and then the other one, Blade Runner, was excellent. Blade Runner is one of the best out of the bunch.
Yeah, I still have to watch Blade Runner.
So alrighty. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring up our question from earlier. It looks like we had a pretty decent response so far.
Hmm.
It's only been up for 40 minutes, and we already have 110 votes, which is pretty
Oh
decent.
wow,
So, and
nothing. Wow.
I'm thinking it's probably because this is more of an international audience at this point. So
Mhm.
most of the people are probably like, no, we're not doing anything. Sandeep Mohanar, to be honest, I'm doing nothing other than home chores and gaming. Also, I will be inactive from YouTube for the next 2 years. Oh,
Oh
okay.
no.
Sorry to hear that. So, well,
I wonder.
well, hopefully, if maybe you can
That's a
come
long
back and you can.
time.
Yeah, that's a very long time. So hopefully, maybe you'll make it. Maybe whatever is keeping you from being active, maybe you can come back and talk to us some more. So we enjoy your comments. So, but yeah, let me go through the results here. 78% with nothing, 10% was trick or treating. Got a
Okay.
tie with 5% for getting together for a party or gathering or dressing up and going out to a bar. They're kind of similar, so that makes sense. And then the remaining 3% with their choice, leaving a comment. So, but yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
It's got to be because it's just an international audience. I don't know. Is Halloween? I don't know where Halloween is celebrated around the world. Is it primarily just a
Oh,
United States thing, North American thing?
maybe. I thought it was maybe all over, but maybe not.
The I assume that it might be in Canada and Mexico, but as far as the rest of the world, I don't know. I don't even know if Canada and Mexico actually celebrate it now. So, but
Maybe it's more like, well, I know Cinco de Mayo is different though. I don't know. I guess I
uh,
should have looked that up.
which one was that again? I'm sorry. The one were you talking about there's a Mexican holiday, Day of the Dead. Have you ever heard of that
Oh,
one?
yeah,
I don't
Cinco
know.
de Mayo, Day of the Dead. Yeah.
I recently found out about that one. There's a movie called Quick Change with Bill Murray, and there's a woman that cries it out in Spanish. And I always thought it was just something she
Mm.
mentioned for the movie. I didn't realize it was an actual holiday. That was
Yeah.
so. But it shows my ignorance there when it comes to that kind of thing. So, but and anyway, yeah, that was yeah, if you could, yeah, we'll come back to this one next week and we'll see what kind of results we get. I don't think it's going to change that much though. So we'll probably get about the same results for next week. 113 votes so far, but alrighty. Anything else you want to add before we wrap everything up?
No, I think that's good. We'll see what changes and what people actually did for Halloween. We'll see if they changed their vote last minute.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. Thanks everybody. And thanks for participating, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good weekend.